Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another Triple M, the MapleStory version of the thing that I do on Tuesday, but on Monday. This is basically the video series where we take a look at the MapleStory subreddit, and we take a look at the last week or so, and we take a look specifically at the top post, and we just kind of see what people have been up to. For better or for worse. Usually there's not too much going on, but hey, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, no worries. For those of you sticking around, make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that good shit. Let's get into it, fellas. I did kind of vet this out a little bit. It's a pretty chill week, all things considered, so I'm thinking we hit up the MapleStory Classic, this thread specifically. I mean, it's pretty popular, but we can also do some of the art posts, because I think showing off people's art is actually super sick. Also, my music is kind of quiet for me, so let me turn it up a little bit. Hold on. Let's see, then maybe that'll be a little bit better for me. If I can hear myself think, that's not good, you know what I'm saying? And then, oh yeah, this limbo art is super sick if you haven't seen it. But anyways, we'll start off with the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. So it's Maple Classic, what we know so far. And we have just a small little thread from the video teaser that they dropped, which is this video. Oh no, it's not this video. This is a cropped video. Oh, I see. This is a video of old MapleStory in their XP values. Basically, they dropped a teaser video. I'm sure we've talked about it when it dropped, but yeah, people have been doing some sleuthing and trying to compare what we know, basically. So XP changes specifically are definitely confirmed in some aspect, at least in the teaser that they shown. Zombie Mushroom is shown given 49 XP, whereas in the original game it gave 42. This suggests Nexon is actively experimenting with EXP scaling. Whether this is a global multiplier or a unique adjustment per mob remains unclear. And again, keep in mind that pretty much all of this stuff is just going to be that, complete speculation. Nobody knows anything. Literally nobody knows anything. We won't know anything for certain until we, you know, actually get to play the game. But it's interesting to see what has been changed thus far. Quest changes. From the footage, it is evident that several quests have been altered, often requiring more items and additional travel. Don Huang's request, for example, in original MapleStory, it was 5 Sturge Wings and 5 tablecloths. MapleStory Classic is 10 mushroom caps, 10 ribbons, 20 orange mushroom kills, and 20 ribbon pig kills. These modifications point towards an intentional design choice, making questing more challenging and time-consuming while simultaneously refreshing the overall progression loop. I mean, I don't know how much I believe that. They might just be changing things to change things. I don't know if it goes that deep. The implication is that the meta of training hopefully will shift from repetitive grinding. It won't. E.g. LPQ spam or leeching towards quest-driven progression and cooperative party play. It won't. I'm telling you right now, it will not. Simply put, there just isn't enough quests to do that, right? There's just not. They would have to either massively buff the quests to where grinding wouldn't be an option at all, or they would have to add a significant amount of quests, and neither of those I can really see them doing. I mean, obviously it's just a personal opinion, but I don't think this will happen. At best, quests might be worth doing, aside from like the rare ones that give like rewards that you care about, but I wouldn't ever count them as being like a replacement for grinding. Map and content availability. The map design showcase appeared to be from a build circa 0.12. This suggests pirates will likely not be available at launch, and Assyria, aka Orbis, as a whole may not be accessible in the initial release. Skill revision stuff. Beginner skill recovery, reskinned green instead of red. This could mean recovery has been reworked into a more meaningful sustain tool. I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't look too deep into that. Focus, a notoriously underwhelming skill, is seen being actively used. It strongly implies a revamp to previously obsolete skills. Again, I'm not entirely sure about that. I think that's just like maybe a reach and a wishful thinking. Magic Guard appears to have no buff duration and suggesting a toggle-based system instead of traditional timed buffs. I think QOL, in terms of like buffs like Magic Guard, like in the real game, Magic Guard has been a toggle for quite some time. I think QOL stuff like that is very good, and it's kind of interesting to see that they may be taking this route, which I think is very good. Again, there's no real skill expression or like gameplay to casting a buff constantly, like every 3 minutes. Like, I don't know. You're always going to have it on anyways. Auto buff is just going to do it for you. I don't know. I heavily favor QOL stuff like this, because this is not what the purpose of the game is. Like, the point of the game is not to keep pressing your Magic Guard button every 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Other observations, archers can now use range attacks point blank without triggering the infamous swing animation, modernizing range combat flow, which I think is very good. This means it likely stands to mean that it applies to thieves as well, and they don't claw punch if you get too close to an enemy. Again, this is QOL stuff that I think it should just exist. I can understand why it existed back in the day, because there were no real like tried and true rules of what felt good, what worked, what didn't. Nowadays, we know what works, what feels good. If some of the old stuff wasn't that, we can modernize it and make it QOL and make it not miserable to play. You know what I mean? And then one of the bigger things for me personally, because I was concerned that they wouldn't be upping the res, but they are, the UI and system updates. The game will no longer be confined to the original resolution. Multiple resolution options are expected, similar to modern MapleStory. UI elements such as font, buff timers, notifications have been updated. While functional, this arguably diminishes the nostalgic feel of the original client. I mean, that's totally understandable. It's just an opinion. I would much rather have functionality in the modern day instead of trying to force myself to play an 800 by 600 game that is just upscaled to look like complete ass because there's fucking 2 pixels. A new guard mechanic borrowed from modern MapleStory has been confirmed in testing. At minimum, magicians will have access to this feature. Could apply to all shield-wielding classes, hero, paladin, mage, shadower, which would be neat. I'm not really sure about guard. The only class that has guard, really, is Mihail in the traditional, like, guard sense. And I know some damage skins, if a mob misses you or you miss, it says guard, but as far as that goes, I have no idea. Overall, it's hard to not be excited about the direction Nexon seems to be taking with MapleStory Classic, whether it's reworked quests, subtle but impactful skill adjustments, or return to older maps with a fresh twist. This project feels like the closest we've been in years to recapturing the sense of adventure MapleStory gave us the first time around, apart from private servers. Personally, I'm eager to see how these changes affect the way that we play and build parties, and I'm hopeful it creates a balance between nostalgia and modern design. I think this is the biggest thing. It needs to encapsulate the old like, game feel, but it needs to not play like it did, if that makes sense. I think old school RuneScape is just, I will always say this, it's a perfect example. And I think classic WoW is a really good example of when it's done wrong. Maybe not even necessarily wrong, but they just didn't do enough to classic WoW. And truthfully, I just don't think they added enough classic WoW. They left it too plastic. And again, that's a personal thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware some people enjoy it. I just think there's a big difference between QOL and making a game fun to play and just monotonous shit that only worked because it existed 20 years ago, right? All I care about is PQs don't have the fucking stupid only one party at a time you have to wait bullshit. I mean, I'd low-key 100% agree with this guy, but I feel like that's probably not going to be a super popular opinion. Because I think a lot of people do enjoy the whole, like, spamming for track, trying to get in, auto-clicking, all that shit. I mean, I was there when it existed, too. Like, I was part of it, man. I was a fucking Orbis PQ smuggler. I knew how to do that shit because I had my computer set up next to the modem. You know, I would unplug the modem briefly. You know, I was in it, man. I just don't think something like this should exist in 2025. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see. No answers how they're going to make money off of it. Monetization will make or break it. I think a lot of people do feel like this, and I am interested to see how they're going to try to monetize classic MapleStory. I do think it's probably safe to assume that there's going to be XP and drop cards. Which, if is the case, they are pretty much going to be mandatory, which I don't know how I feel personally. I mean, I'm not too deep into it regardless, but I'm just thinking for like the long-term people who are gonna like put in a lot of time. Because I'll check out Classic, but I don't think I can see myself playing it seriously long-term. It'll just be like a mess-around thing for me. But I do agree, monetization will make or break it. Maybe not in like the literal sense, but I think it will for a lot of people. Even if it's like perception, you know what I mean? Gatch scrolls, as long as Gatch doesn't give BIS items, I don't mind Gatch at all. This is also a very interesting take, because Gatch historically has been like the way to get certain items and like the only way to get certain items, but I don't know. We'll see. MTS again. MTS would be interesting. I think it's highly unlikely Gachapon will make a return. I mean, we still have Gachapon in regular MapleStory, and it gets things added to it, so I wouldn't be surprised if Gatch isn't in the game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it is. It's like a 50-50 to me, honestly. But, I don't know. We just won't know till October. Facts. Some of your points are wrong. Oh, this is an edited comment. He must have edited the original post. Anyways, I think that will be enough talking about this specific thread. We'll take a look at the art stuff, and then I'll let you guys go. I thought this was really cool. Don't mind me, I'm still living in the 2000s and some fucking the Ludi PQ fucking boxes. I love it. For the glory of Kaiser, and it's a fucking Kaiser on the W place thing. So cool. And then somebody's lovely rendition of Lucid. She is best girl, and she will always be best girl. I can save her. And then this. Okay, this Limbo is sick. Like, this alone looks so sick, but then there's more. So good. Feels like Borderlands. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so cool. I seriously love this. It looks so good. Anyways, I'll stop yapping. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to like the video if you like it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and thank you to my YouTube member. Cheers, remix my life. Yeah. I don't know. Brother Chris out, I guess? Bye. I don't remember how to do this. Bye.